Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and Ripple is creating a trading platform, and we have the first hints that XRP indeed is the core reason that they're building this, specifically on-demand liquidity, which utilizes XRP as a bridge currency. Now, hey, let's be real though. Did we really think that it would be for any other reason? I cannot fathom a reason that would be more important to them as far as creating their own trading platform, cryptocurrency exchange, than to ensure a healthy XRP ecosystem. And it's interesting to me because when I talked about this in the past, I acknowledge, hey, this just seems like something that's a little bit outside of their wheelhouse. But hey, as long as Brad Garlinghouse, Ripple CEO, feels like their team can go ahead and go a little off the beaten path, and it's really not going to affect the rest of what they're doing in terms of building out RippleNet and the Internet of Value, super duper. But, with Brad Garlinghouse's background as the author of the Peanut Butter Manifesto, which is something that he wrote back when he was working at, where was he working? It was I think it was Yahoo. He worked at AOL and Yahoo in the past. I think it was Yahoo. That sounds right. And it was just this idea of, he was really concerned about, the top layers of management just spreading the resources too thin, like peanut butter on a slice of bread. And then that became known as the Peanut Butter Manifesto. So hopefully they're not spreading the resources too thin. Then again, Ripple has more money than God, so we shall see. But lots to talk about in this video. This is going to be good because we did learn some new stuff from here. But before we go any further, if you would please ever so delicately tap that like button, I would definitely appreciate the support, because if you do, it will simply tell the YouTube algorithm that you don't completely hate this particular Moon Lambo content. Maybe you hate it a little bit, and fair enough. But it'll tell the YouTube algorithm to push it out onto other unsuspecting victims. And also, you know what? I gotta tell you this, guys. I'm really going to strongly recommend that you subscribe to the Moon Lambo channel, because the Moon Lambo channel is part of a well-balanced breakfast. Now, seriously, think about it. Most of the other crypto channels out there, the types run by the Bitcoin maxi trolls that sound like this, like, Bitcoin, YouTube, the people that run those channels, I got to tell you, they're really carb heavy. And look, it's not that I'm against having a little pasta from time to time, but there's a healthier way to get your day started. And so you juxtapose that to the Moon Lambo channel, which is just chock full of protein. In fact, every single Moon Lambo video comes with 30 grams of protein. You're going to be looking at beefcake in no time, son. Just go ahead and bulk up a little bit. But doesn't mean you can smash the like button, though. You still have to delicately tap like a gentleman. All right, let's go ahead and dive in now. And by the way, the first time that we heard from this news, I was looking this up because I was curious. I knew it was earlier this year. I was like, how long has it been? It feels like a hot minute. And the earliest instance of this I could find was May 7th of this year. It was the first crypto media-related article. And I'm going to jump into today's one, though. I didn't want to cover it. I was just kind of curious. So it's been out in the wild, the news of this, more or less, for 5 months. But we did get some new tidbits here. And I had speculated in the past that perhaps it would be XRP at the core of this, as far as the rationale for building this thing out. Because, again, what else would it be, right? I think that's pretty reasonable and safe speculation here. But we had the first hint that that's indeed the case here. And to my knowledge, I haven't seen them actually publicly talk about this anywhere. But Daily Hodl titled this piece, Ripple to launch trading platform to provide real-time access to crypto markets. A new job opening at Ripple confirms the San Francisco startup is preparing to launch a new next-generation trading platform. In a new listing, Ripple reveals that it is hiring a senior software engineer for Liquidity who will build an enterprise-grade distributed trading platform that provides real-time access to crypto markets. Now, a couple things there. Look at the language that they use. Enterprise-grade, that makes it super-duper clear that they want this to be ready for business clients, right? If it's enterprise-grade, because they use that same language with on-demand liquidity and RippleNet. It's enterprise-grade, commercially available software. That's exactly what it is. But check out this. And I didn't see this, maybe I missed it, but I didn't see this in the past in any of their other job listings, but they wrote distributed trading platform, which means that there shouldn't be one individual point. It's looking like does this mean it's going to be some sort of decentralized exchange? Is that the route that they're actually going with? That would be rather fascinating here. And so we don't know, but again, what else in the world of crypto and blockchain does somebody mean when they type up a job listing and use the word distributed, right? One would think that it has something to do with blockchain technology, right? And so if that's underlying the entire platform, that would be super interesting, because I will admit that when I was thinking about this in the past, I was thinking more so of a centralized cryptocurrency exchange, but maybe they're just like 3 steps ahead, which they should be. They're Ripple, because the route that everything's going ultimately in the crypto space is, look, I understand that, and I haven't used them, but decentralized exchanges, from everything that I've read, people that have used them, they say it's just a really poor user experience. But there's promise for it in the future. It just seems to be hard to build out. And then there's, liquidity issues, because on centralized exchanges, the exchanges make sure they have enough liquidity, so at least you can have market orders take place. But I don't even know what that looks like in a setting where it's a decentralized exchange. So no doubt there are solutions out there. But even not just that, there's all sorts of other stuff, including the interface. How is this all going to work? And if it's decentralized, what if something goes wrong? Who's going to take care of you, if anyone? Right? And so there's all sorts of stuff to consider there. But again, that's still, all that said, I'm just naming hurdles. It's probably going to get there. In fact, I suspect that centralized exchanges, it's not unreasonable to think that they're just going to become a thing of the past, even if it takes a pretty long time. But anyway, the piece continues here, and they note in this job listing that the successful candidate will also be responsible for sourcing and aggregating liquidity while handling, quote, execution, algorithm, modeling, and implementation. And then the piece continues. Ripple also mentions, check this out now, this is the first that I've seen of this, Ripple also mentions on-demand liquidity in the job advertisement, which implies that the trading platform may be connected to the company's XRP-based remittance technology, which is why I was speculating that this was the case all along. And why would they bring up on-demand liquidity in this listing if it has nothing to do with it? Because I can tell you, in all of their other job listings that I've taken a look at, because I'm a weirdo in the XRP space and I just like to consume as much information as possible. It's not like I'm looking to work there, although it'd probably be a fun working environment. Working remotely these days anyway. But in going through anything, like if any job listing that they posted doesn't have anything to do with on-demand liquidity, they don't mention on-demand liquidity. This one does, right? And so what's this going to look like? What would the purpose of all this ultimately be? Well, look, it's hard. I've mentioned this in the past too, but Ripple only has so much power in increasing the liquidity of XRP, because you can't force institutions and retail investors to hold and actively trade, which is a key part of it. The liquid part, keep XRP on exchange. You can't force people to do that. Now, the more people that enter the entire crypto space, the more retail investors will also jump in. Some will be interested in XRP, and also the more institutions will jump in, and I think many will be interested in XRP. And if you're talking about exchanges holding it, that's where the liquidity ultimately comes from. If they're making the money on the buying and selling anyway, there you go, having that capital tied up. That's part of the business model purely as an exchange, which means that it's not the same as Nostra Vostra having that dormant capital. This is actually getting used for a different purpose. It's liquidity for trading. And so that's the direction that all of this is going ultimately. Right, so it's just going to be another hub, and that's why it's interesting to me, because I was wondering as they were building this out, I was like, okay, so what geographic region is this going to be in? Because I was thinking, does Ripple have to have a bunch of little exchanges the world over to have sufficient liquidity in different geographic regions? But now we've got this other little tidbit where, hey, they use the word distributed, and I was like, oh gosh, yeah, if they can pull that off, that would make way more sense. If it's actually a decentralized exchange, there is no HQ. And again, I don't know exactly what this would look like, and admittedly, this is speculation, but it's fun to think through, what might this look like? And if that is the case, you don't have to worry about what geographic region it is. The geographic region is planet Earth at that point, right? But anyway, here's what they wrote in the piece, the job listing. On-demand liquidity is a product that leverages digital assets and blockchain technology to improve the cost, speed, and transparency of cross-border payments. This highly strategic product for Ripple is powered by the superior speed, low transaction cost, and scalability of the digital asset XRP. Indeed, XRP is quite blazing fast. But the connection between the two platforms appears to be broad, as the job post highlights the overall crypto markets and not just XRP. However, it is not yet clear whether the platform will be for retail traders, institutions, are reserved for financial institutions that are part of RippleNet. Yeah, and that we're still kind of waiting on, because I still suspect most of the liquidity, once things get ramped up, it's probably still just going to come from the liquidity pools, like the exchanges themselves. But retail investors, if they're on platforms that are on-demand liquidity enabled, yeah, they'd certainly be a part of it, which means if you're selling your XRP, it could be flowing through using Ripple's automated algorithm, which is part of on-demand liquidity, which is pretty cool. Like if you're selling, and you won't know, but that could be the case ultimately if you're in an on-demand liquidity enabled corridor with a partner exchange that's doing that here. But, if Ripple is going to build this out, especially if it's for retail investors, it's going to be a harder sell, especially if it's decentralized in the year 2020. Who knows when it's going to launch anyway? But it would be a harder sell if XRP is the only cryptocurrency exchange. So it would be interesting to see, especially if it's open to the general public, will there be other cryptocurrencies, non-XRP cryptocurrencies that you can also buy and sell? Hey, whatever it takes to grow the ecosystem, like I'm all for it. And that's why with Ripple's Spring Initiative, of course, a lot of what they're doing, it's to directly improve the health and long-term viability of the XRP ecosystem. But even the things that don't directly do that, they indirectly do it, because a healthier crypto space is good for Ripple and XRP. And that's the piece that I think that sometimes, and I understand why. It's not like I'm blaming you. If you're a member of the XRP community, it's like, no, I want it to directly affect XRP. I'm like, okay, I get it. But just take a step back, because it is going to be good for all of us as XRP holders if they have this, what do they say, the rising tide that lifts all boats or some crap like that. Yeah, it's a true thing, though. It makes sense. So we shall see. I don't know. When they write here that it's enterprise grade, it makes me wonder. So it's going to be friendly for institutions. Like to me, that seems like a virtual certainty at this point with language like that. So the question is, will there also be retail traders? I don't know. That would be neat though. I would join just for the experience. I would join that cryptocurrency exchange. But anyway, that's it for this video. Thank you for stopping by. I am not a financial advisor. I'm a health expert. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.